What up, everybody? Today I will start my first roller coaster review, and it will be of Raptor, the B&M inverter roller coaster at Cedar Point. Now, I just want to say before we start, this is a really underrated ride, and why not start off a good series with a good underrated ride? Okay, so on my reviews, I name categories, and I will list my facts or opinions on the ride in each category. At the end, I will give you my final thoughts and final score on the ride. Okay, so let's get started with the first category. The first category is stats. Okay, this roller coaster stands at 137 feet tall. Its total track length is 3,790 feet, and its speed is 57 miles per hour. And it has 6 inversions, which I think is a lot on a B&M inverted roller coaster because my home park's Carowinds. I ride Afterburn often, and I don't expect this ride to have 6 inversions. And it also goes along with the duration, 2 minutes and 16 seconds. That's a really long roller coaster ride. But yeah, all right. So let's move on to the next category. So the next category will be the layouts. And so basically, you start off going up the lift hill, then you drop, then you go through a 100-foot vertical loop, then you go through a really cool 0G roll, which probably is the most intense part of the ride. I don't know. Then you go through the Cobra roll, which also could be the most intense part of the ride. Then you go through a couple helixes. Then you go through the first corkscrew. Then you go through some more helixes. Then you go through the second corkscrew. I think you go through one more helix after that, and you hit the brakes. Okay, so let me show you. Okay, so this is a POV of Raptor. It goes out to Coaster Crunch Field for the POV. Okay, so as I said, you start out ascending the 137-foot lift hill. You know, it's a pretty good lift hill. You can get some very good sights if you sit in the front row. Yeah, the lift hill, it's pretty long. It's a pretty big lift hill. You can get a really good view of the beach in the midway going up this lift hill. Okay, so here's the first drop. It's a pretty good first drop. It's pretty forceful and intense. See, look, there you go. Hit the first drop. It's a very good first drop. And you go straight into the first inversion, the 100-foot vertical loop. And you go straight into the 0G roll, which is very intense. Then you hit the Cobra roll, which is a fun Cobra roll. It's not that rough, but it's pretty rattly. Then you hit the first helix, good helix. It's intense. Oh, then you hit the mid-course brake run, which unfortunately has it, but it still doesn't kill much speed. Then you hit the first corkscrew. Then you go through another helix. Then you hit the second corkscrew. Then you go through some more helixes. You know, this is a really intense part of the ride too. The double helix. Maybe triple helix, actually. And then you do some more twistiness, and then the ride ends. So yeah, let's move on to the next section. It's the draws and flaws. Well, basically, what will draw the crowd into riding the ride, and what is kind of flawed in the ride. Okay, so the draws is the length. This is a really long roller coaster for an invert, in my opinion. You're on this thing for a really long time, 2 minutes, over 2 minutes. That's a really long ride, in my opinion. Alright, now it has good inversions. That's the second thing, is good inversions. The inversion on here is good, and they're very intense, and they're paced very well. Alright, the third thing is pacing. This roller coaster has really good pacing. It's back-to-back elements. There's really no time to catch your breath except for the mid-course brake run, but you know, you can't really help that. Alright, now the fourth thing is intensity. This roller coaster is intense. That's its middle name, intense. Now this roller coaster is really underrated because of this intensity. The helixes, I pretty much grade out on the helixes on this ride. They're really intense. And you know, this ride is also forceful. You know, you feel the inversions, you feel the drop, you feel the Cobra roll. you know, you have a lot of butterflies in your stomach on this ride. It's a really good ride. Now, the last thing I have is location. I don't know if most people will pay attention to this, but it's located in the midway. It's like the first roller coaster you come with. Like, it's the first roller coaster closest to the gate, so it's gonna have very long lines naturally. But it's being in the middle of the midway. It has very good views, scenic views. You can see basically everything in the park on top of the lift on this roller coaster. Now let's get to the bad things about this ride, the flaws. Now, I experienced slight roughness and headbanging on the ride. It's nothing major, but if you don't keep your head in the right position, it will get knocked around a little bit. Definitely on the inversions and the helixes. Now, also another flaw is it's kind of shaky and rattly during the transitions, but it's nothing much. It's just a slight ruffiness, shaking and rattling. It's just a slight rattle. Alright, now let's go on to the final score on this ride. For Raptor, I'm giving a 7 out of 10. This is a very good ride, very underrated in my opinion. And yeah, this is a very underrated ride. I'm pretty sure I put it 4th or 3rd in my roller coasters, top 10 roller coaster Cedar Point. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's a pretty good video of mine. So yeah. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Remember to like if you liked it, subscribe if you liked what I put out, subscribe, and then comment if you got any questions or concerns. Alright guys, I'll see you next time.